Hey guys, and welcome back to another What If Here. Today we're doing part 4 to What If Female Naruto was the reincarnation of Kaguya. Just said the part number. And if you somewhat wanted to know what happened in the last part, I'm pretty sure I got female Naruto's name wrong, which wouldn't really surprise me as her Naruto's female name is Ruby. And yes, I'm probably pretty sure I got it mixed up in part 3, and also part 3 was all over the place, so yes, hopefully this part won't go like that, hopefully. And anyway, let's get into this what if. I don't know what I was going to say, so I should wake up, I should go and somewhat look at the calendar and I should go, well, today's the day, come and yawn and we'll go, morning, okay, what's up, you don't really sound excited for today. Should go, well, you know, Kura, it's, well, if it's today or tomorrow, whenever like team say test is, and if we pass that, then we become a team, and well, I'd somewhat no longer have, you know, like the army around me to watch me. Well, somewhat protect me, not really watch me, but more so protect me from, well, the civilians. It's going to go that all. Really, that's all that's bothering you, Ruby? It's like, well, yeah, it's good. You don't have to worry about that, kid. As you got me. Heck, if they dare try, I'll ban whatever thing they have off. It's like, heck, even if they try and put it in you, they may get close to his skin, but as more as they push, the closer they get, you know, the more it will be incinerated to the point where they'd just be as flat as you are. It'd go, really, kid? Yes, of course, if I have to, I'd incinerate any damn, and, well, yeah, if any damn pervert gets their hands on you, oh, trust me, I'll make sure they don't mess with you again. I don't just go, well, thanks, Kura, that somewhat helps us. No problem, kid, though, I do really mean it. If they do ever try and do it with you without your permission, well, the next thing they know, they will no longer be male. Not that, Ruby would just nod and would, well, do a morning routine. She'd go to toilet, brush her teeth, and then put on a somewhat ninja clothes, because hey, she wanted to look like an actual ninja, not somewhat in a somewhat civilian clothes, which she'd been round to the school, to the academy. After she'd got dressed, she'd then put on her shoes. Well, she'd then walk to the front door, put her shoes on, and would then leave and head towards the academy. Once she'd arrive, she'd sit down. She was around, well, like 5-10 minutes early. And yeah, and after like 5-10 minutes, she'd hear her banging down the corridors. She'd know who that was, or who they were, to be precise, and yeah, and well, the poor door would be slammed open as they'd yell out, "I'm first," as she'd sigh, Dumb and Dumber right here. As Pinky and Blondie, Sakura and Ina, or Ina and Sakura, the pretty much two self-proclaimed heads of the Sasuke fan club, which by all means he wasn't a part of. Heck, she'd probably rather vaporize, well, not really vaporize, she'd more so would keep like if he got too close to her, she'd probably kill him, just to make sure he didn't try anything with her. Yeah, so she'd obviously let men close to her, but she didn't exactly like men a lot, though considering somewhat past with men, with them somewhat either being mainly jokes to her, though there were the occasional ninja who would somewhat very much tried to rape her, though more times than, and they never got that close to her. Well, some did, but almost all the time they were killed by the arm boot. So she'd seen a fair amount of some Arbu guards killing people, like killing civilians, and even Genin. Yes, even some Genin, as much as disgusting that would be, some Genin would even do it for somewhat sick revenge or that. Yeah, though it was very few and very rare. Rare considering this population of Konoha, so it was rare. But yeah, otherwise, so that's kind of why she doesn't exactly like men much. Though some say, like, obviously she's friends with Shikamaru and Choji. She's fine around them as well. Choji, as long as you didn't really call him that, he was pretty, chilled out guy. Shikamaru was generally lazy, like staring at the sky, so they somewhat got though. Yeah, and obviously he was fine as well. Though they both obviously also liked getting into trouble, which Ruby was just a magnet to, as she'd loved pulling pranks. So yeah, it was pretty much her type of, way of dealing with everyone just either ignoring her or just like yelling at her. Like, it was just the way her answer, instead of going on a mass murder spree like some other Jinchuriki have done, or that she just like her mum, just like Kusanad, reverted into pranking, which Husen was quite happy for, because you just never never mess with an angry Uzumaki. A mad or angry Uzumaki you just don't mess with. Heck, you're generally dead if you made them mad in the first place. So yeah. Anyway, Ino and Sakura would somewhat be arguing, and then they'd take the argument to who would be the one to sit by Sasuke, and that would go for a solid 2 minutes, as then Iruka would walk in and would yell at them to sit down, or he would kick them out of the class, and they would have to wait a year before coming Genin, as they'd immediately went quiet and sat down. And yeah, he'd then go and rant on how proud he was, how happy he was to have educated them and trained them into the best of what he could, and he hoped how good they were, and like somewhat to get their spirits up and to try and get them to be like all happy and that, yes, we're now getting, though of course, Ruby herself was like, well, it doesn't really work. Well, at least for it didn't work, because she knew, well, sure she'd passed, but she wasn't classified as a genin. Only was until the Jonin sensei told them, you passed the test, you're now genin. Or, meet me here tomorrow, so at the Okage Tower, here tomorrow, wherever, to get that mission, or whatever, or to train, or something else. So yeah. And well, after an 2 hour long speech, which both Ruby and Shikamaru slept through. Yeah. Though once it was somewhat over, Choji had gotten them both up. And well, yeah, and then Iruka had then started on teams 1 through 6. As once he had gotten to, well, he'd then say team 7, as we were then somewhat paying a bit more attention, as you'd say, Sakura Haruno, Naruto would go, Ruby would just think, okay, whoever gets her is unlucky. He'd then say, Ruby's lucky. She just cries a lot. Kuma would chuck at it, and she'd just think, please don't be Sasuke for life, for God, please don't be. And Sasuke cheers it. Like her head to just hit the desk, hack it and crack the desk. Yeah. Shikamaru and Joji just look at her, and Shikamaru just go, well, I don't really know what to say except for, well, the best of luck to you, is just sigh and go, I just had the arrogant duck butt and the banshee. I just had to. Why me? Why did I have to have them? They're the worst people ever to be teamed up with. And Shikamaru go, yeah, though, hey, well, I guess there's not really much for it except for that. Well, I guess at least you don't have any of those. So he's like, well, yeah, I guess I don't. Well, she'd probably be clinging to Sasuke's arm 24/7, wouldn't she? And yeah, he just nod, go, yep, as he'd then call up Team 8, which Team 8 and Team 10 would obviously be the same. Because obviously he told them who their senseis were. As he'd then say, now that you all know who your team is, use this hour break to obviously eat some lunch and get to know your team better. And yeah, he then tell them dismissed, and to once again meet him back here in an hour. They'd all nodded, and they'd somewhat left in the teams they were, they were, or at least everyone except for Team 7. Sasuke just left almost immediately. Sakura had somewhat ran after him like a headless sheep. And Choji and Shikamaru and Choji thought they were just, probably somewhat stay here, or possibly, go to the roof. And then they heard, Ino's voice saying, come on you two lazies, come on. Yeah. And they were somewhat surprised that while she wasn't running after Sasuke herself, is yeah, they would somewhat get up and lazily follow her. But you know, it's somewhat sign annoyance, and we just something, and somewhat just think, lucky Sakura, you're so lucky you got to be with Sasuke, Kendo. Don't know, you may have won the battle, but you won't win the war for his heart. Yeah. And maybe just somewhat would leave to go to eat Rock Ramen. Once she'd arrive there, she'd just somewhat sit down and talk with, tell Chuchi, I mean Chuchi, who she's pretty much teamed up with. And they'd somewhat talk. They'd have a nice chat for 4.5 hours. Then she'd somewhat left, and she'd ended up running into Konohamaru, which she'd met the day before, and they'd somewhat she'd just somewhat sat on a park bench, and they'd spoken for around another 20-25 minutes before she told them, they could even talk a bit later. They could say talk after, talk, later or that. And she then headed back to the academy. And once she'd arrived, she was a minute early. So she'd somewhat sat down back where she was. And Toji and while they would of course sit by her. Why not? She was less annoying than their team, than their other team member. Yeah. And Ino would somewhat just sit just one row in front, and would somewhat look at Naruto and go, Ruby, and go, Ruby, aren't you happy to be with Sasuke? To be on, team with Sasuke's? Ruby would look at Ino and go, no, I'm not. He's an arrogant, self-absorbed ass, and I'm not looking forward to working with him. I'll work as a team with him when we have to, but any more than that, and I won't. I'd rather kill him if I could, but sadly I can't. So yes, and I'd go, what? Why? He's as I said, he's arrogant. When has he ever helped someone out? When has he ever bothered to ask one of yous, are you okay? Or anything like that? What's the point? He's solely fixated in himself and getting stronger. I don't know what for, but he's just, he just wants to get stronger for whatever reason he has. And why would I be excited to be on a team with somebody like that? And Sakura's just like you, a fangirl, and would happily lay down her life if it meant he could survive. Would somewhat be taken back and would somewhat start slightly re-evaluating her life choices in that as obviously she was still a fangirl, and it somewhat hurt knowing the person she thought she had a crush on, like being, talked about like that, but also she's somewhat obviously slightly more rational than Sakura, and as such she wasn't, she just somewhat stayed quiet, and Tojins if Naruto was, well, they weren't that surprised on Naruto disliking men. They knew it. They pretty much knew she disliked them. Well, yeah, men, though they knew. Yeah, so it's somewhat why, obviously, you know, they could hold hands together, or, you know, well, yeah, should probably, well, yeah, stop at holding hands. Like, that was it for any, like, contact with men. She wouldn't go that much further. Though, if someone would say, like, what's his name? Damn it, I said his name, Tucci. You know, she could hug Tucci. Tucci? I think I'm saying his name right. I don't know. Yeah. Obviously, Aime's father, Tucci. You know, we could cuddle him, as he'd somewhat, you know, been there and somewhat, to a degree, raised her slightly, and, well, yeah, somewhat helped her in stuff. Same with Aime, so, you know, like, they were fine. They're somewhat like her adopted family. So, yes. Yeah. And, yeah, she knew she'd have to somewhat bear with her sensei, if it would be male or female, and obviously even Hiruzen knew she didn't exactly like men. Heck, obviously she could handle, obviously also Hiruzen cuddling her for the same reason. He was like a grandfather to her, so yeah, she obviously, she wouldn't mind being cuddled by Hiruzen, though Hiruzen knew obviously never to really be a pervert around her, and obviously she does very much hate perverts and would obviously kill them. And he very much warned Kakashi beforehand to, well, he said you can come a max of probably 5-10 minutes late. Any later and you'd probably lose your head from her. She very much hates people late, trust me. Like, you know, say, no, like, donkeys, Kakashi, yeah, what about, well, her, isn't it? Not him, it's like, who's gonna, yeah, her, right, well, yeah, of course, if you remember very much, you remember Donkey used to be male. I should go, oh, like, was she Hiruzen? Hiruzen go, yeah, you know, cause, as Kakashi should be, huh, she actually used to be male, what happened? Well, Donkey was pretty much meant to somewhat watch, like, somewhat be her guard, and she always knew when her guards were there, her army guards, she knew it, and somewhat if they were late, though, she generally, like, you know, bash them, though Donkey was somewhat slightly, obviously, also perverted, and the combination of being half an hour late and being a slight pervert, just combination to him losing his junk. Cassie just go, right out, you're joking, right? Nope. She truly cut it off. She'd moved so fast that it surprised all of the army, and by the time they'd stopped her, it was already gone. And obviously Donkey passed out, and yeah, she'd practically incinerated it. Right, so pretty much just don't be late, or if I am late, have a good reason. Here's him just nod and go, well, I'd probably say this is probably your only chance that you could be late. Is Cash would go, and why is that? Well, you'd be in a building, and what's the first thing you do if your sensei is, say, somewhat late? You'd follow his direct orders. It's like, well, yes, but also you could what? It's like, like obviously there's the big test which is generally held, the day after, but you could also test them beforehand and see if they would either listen to me or use their actual brains and would realise I could have booby trapped the entire building or just corridor, and as such it'd be fine with me probably being 5 minutes to an hour late, but not 3 hours late, as that would take too long to booby trap. Here's him just nod as Kakashi goes, okay, and I should never read my no, you shouldn't trust me. Heck, she'd found the one I read, and well, she'd burnt the entire town. Well, not the entire town, she just burnt the entire my office. Well, not the tower. Well, not tower. My office down. So yes, it was truly clear she did not like perverts at all. Heck, even closet perverts she just didn't like. So yeah, some stuff were luckily enough obviously survived, like the Hokage paintings and that. But yeah, he also somewhat oversaid it, and also the only thing she did was burn his table to the ground. She didn't burn the entire office, just the table and chair. The chair because it was too close to the table, but yeah, she burnt the entire table to the ground. Down boost didn't really do nothing because they were all girls on that day, and they somewhat felt they also didn't like perverts. Almost no girls, almost any sane girl didn't. So yeah, though they'd somewhat obviously, once Ruby'd left, they'd continue to watch fire to make sure it didn't spread nowhere else, and lucky enough it didn't. Besides from maybe singeing the carpet, though, did put that out, and the next morning when Houston had arrived, he'd immediately asked for a report, and they'd said, well, it seemed like they'd said it, all they could make out was a girl with long hair that could use a possible fire jutsu or something to burn your entire desk to the ground. Kind of like, said, could you recover anything? It's like, no, everything in the desk was lost. You just go, oh, okay, well that's good. I see. Then somewhat go parasy check all over himself as he then curse. His somewhat favourite orange book was in the desk when it was burnt, and it's, well, he could guess who it was, though he couldn't really blame her. He somewhat knew already that she hated perverts, so it somewhat reinforced it too. Somewhat, if he did want to read it at his home, not in the office. And then of course the second thought came to her mind, well, his mind, was, how was Ruby going to take meeting Jiraiya, her godfather? Yeah. No. Well, yeah, they'd somewhat already met, and it didn't go down well, though obviously Ruby didn't know at the time that Jiraiya was a godfather. So yeah, anyway, back to present. Yeah, and like, well, after, as I said, after they'd all, after they'd all come back, 25 minutes later 25 minutes would go by as Kakashi would then somewhat walk in and go, being the only teams left, you'd go, to Team 7 as Sakura just, Sensei, you're late, as well, he could somewhat feel he could very much feel killing intent, somewhat look up and would just somewhat see that yes, he wasn't happy, though he'd somewhat think, did I push my luck? Though, and someone go, well, you've got 10 minutes to be on the roof. If you're not on the roof by 10 minutes, then you'll be sent immediately back to the academy. Got it. And got it. They'd somewhat nod as Kakashi go, good, bye. As he then sends into the roof as, well, Sasuke and Sakura, Sasuke would immediately run out the door. Sakura would scream after him. Ruby would somewhat wait and would think. And she would say, as much like people like, he's probably booby trapped the hallway or even the entire building. It's going to go, well, that's what makes the most sense. After all, of course, almost any sane person would, any sane person that's 25-30 minutes late, would booby trap it, as then they'd hear an explosion. Though it was a weak one, though the sound was somewhat amplified to obviously give off the kind of I can't think of the name, like give the imitation that it was a much stronger explosion than what it actually was. It's more so strong enough to singe your skin or that a bit, get your skin a bit warm. You'd have your skin may be red for a day or two, but it'd be fine. Yeah. Anyway, so you just go, well, guess we walk up the building. It's going to go, well, may have booby trapped that as well. We don't know. It's like, that'd be getting a bit too extreme. Who'd booby trap the outside of a building? Especially, the academy. It'd crumble. It'd possibly, someone kind of like, well, maybe, but you're more likely to blow a hole inside of a building, not crumble it. So, yeah, but still. So, and plus, obviously, the civilians and other nations probably run there thinking there'd been a, attack if they start seeing the side of a building, obviously things started happening. Should go, oh, okay, fine, you've got me there, but still, activate the Byakugan, and at least, scan the entire building to make sure there's none, no more outside or inside. You just nod and we'd activate it, as you'd go, well, I could see where they are, and there's, at least another, 30, 40, 20, 30 traps ahead of them. He really works fast, or don't forget he's a Jonin. He's what kind of has current best Jonin that I've got. A bit lazy, but remember, Kit, if he's that good, and don't forget Kakashi had to get his Should go, oh, have I heard that name before? It's like, well, he'd be known as the copy ninja, right? Right. So yeah, of course, he'd probably know the shadow clone jutsu and that. So yeah, he could just make copies of himself, and they'd all yeah. So yeah, of course, makes sense. And yeah, is gonna go circuit. What you're going to do, of course, you can obviously use the Mangekyo teleport up there. I think. Well, yeah, Senshin up there. Oh yeah, you can either teleport up there using the Mangekyo, or Senshin up there. Should go, or I can replace myself up there, huh? Oh, right, I forgot you're quite good with the replacement jutsu. Yeah, I guess you can do that. It's somewhat like, well, to you it's a short range teleportation technique, isn't it? Yeah, well, I have to replace myself with something, so, yeah. And that's you, I should somewhat close your eyes and somewhat focus on the top of the score. I should see, Kakashi. Well, not exactly see him make out his chakra network, and that I then should somewhat see what he was holding. I should go, why does all of them is going to go, calm down, kid. Remember, like, just calm down. Remember, almost, I would say, kid, or most men are probably perverts, and all men are more guaranteed to be closet perverts, so just calm down, because getting angry isn't going to do much, and he'd probably send you back to the academy, or even kick you out of the academy for being aggressive to a Jonin. Heck, you could go to jail. Remember, the only reason why you got out of, the only reason why you got out of going to jail was because of, who had somewhat understood your somewhat position, though. So, yeah. Should somewhat sign, just nod as should go. Fine, I'll try not to. I should somewhat run through the hand signs for the replacement. Well, I should do the one-handed. Well, I should make one hand sign for the replacement juice and switch yourself out with his book. Cassio's somewhat in 1 minute reading his book, and next minute who's looking at thin air as he just blink as they'd see a puff of smoke, and who'd somewhat just gulp as who'd now be looking at Ruby as he'd go, how long have you been there? As I was going to go, well, it seems like the old man had warned him. She'd go, it seems so good, it seems so. Just got here, how are you? Yeah, he was somewhat nervous. He was somewhat berating himself for bringing his provided book. Of all books he owned, why did he have to bring that one? Yeah. He'd guess, well, he didn't even know what it was. Yeah, it could be anywhere. Yeah. Though he'd try the classroom first. And, well, yeah, they'd somewhat talk for a bit, and Kakashi would slowly start relaxing, and he'd somewhat realised that she can hold herself back from probably charging at him, and obviously, well, though, just by the way she'd somewhat looked and even sounded, which was more so harsh in the first, say, 3 minutes of talking to one another. She sounded quite harsh to him, which it indicated obviously to Kaguya that, well, obviously she didn't like her first passes of him weren't great at all, and you somewhat knew, well, obviously really, well, he was gonna really be like, because he didn't really want to encounter a temper and hopefully get on a good side. Because after all, he knew her parents and he was somewhat like obviously Minta and Krishna were somewhat like his parents, and and after 9 minutes or so, Sasuke and Sakura would finally arrive, because you should somewhat just be looking at them and go, well, about time you showed up. It's just kind of, as Sasuke would somewhat glower at her, Sakura would just go and somewhat just yell at Sensei about ruining her clothes. We just would somewhat retort that, well, it was obvious he would have done something to test us out, and we're in a building, there's possibly maybe 1 or 2 different ways to get to the roof by inside, and he'd be trapped one of them. What in the right mind has told you he didn't? Heck, did you even use your mind to find out, to figure out if he did or didn't? Sakura somewhat just look away and blushes while she didn't. Sasuke would just stare even more, just somewhat just glower even more, as she'd just look at him and go, keep on staring at me, Sasuke, and you'll lose what makes you a man. And she'd pull out kunais, Kakashi go, now, settle down. As she'd somewhat walk back over, well no, she was already backstabbed, she'd just once, while Sasuke would sit in between, Sakura and Nat and Ruby, though Ruby would move quite far away from him. Kakashi would somewhat just go, Sakura, how about, Sakura, why don't you, Pinky, introduce yourself? And go, how, Sensei? He'd sigh and go, your likes, your dislikes, your dream for the future, and your hobbies. Should go, why don't you go first, Sensei? He'd sigh, and his thing was, obviously he'd say his thing, and Sakura's would all be the same, so would Sasuke's. The only thing different though with, they'd both be the same. Besides from hating, Ruby / Naruto. Ruby had never really been interested, obviously, in Sakura's. She's a girl, not a boy, as such. Sakura wouldn't hate her. Though Sakura would somewhat dislike her, as Ruby would always trying to be able to pick apart almost anything wrong with someone. Sure, she could pick apart anything that was good about a person, but it was obviously if you can pick apart I think there were, like, that was bad about them, she could pick all the good things that was about a person. So, yeah. Anyway. And she'd just say, well, I'm Ruby Uzumaki, my likes are ramen, Chuchi, I'm a certain fox, foxes, and training. Hobbies are training, cooking, and just something else, though can't really tell you that's secret. My likes are, well, no, she said the likes. My dislikes are men. I hate any and all men, besides from a very few amount. I hate all men, no matter who you are. I most definitely hate fangirls. They're just a waste of time. What's the point of them becoming? Well, I guess the only point of them becoming a genin is is pretty much to like use them as a human wall. Just like throwaway ninjas, pretty much. As they're generally the first to die in almost any battle or anything really. Because they never really train or anything like that. And what else? She'd say some other stuff, and we'd somehow end it there, and Kakashi would go, well, it's nice that you all are unique, and would continue to say what he'd say in canon about warning them that only 66% of all genin fail, and obviously tell them that tomorrow they would have a survival exercise. If they pass it, then they would truly become a team, truly become genin, and if they fail, they'll be back to the academy for another year. I'd somewhat be surprised Ruby wouldn't, as she'd seen obviously many teams, as she'd somewhat watched them / spied on them, just fail. Some had of course passed them, some had failed, though she'd never really seen how Kakashi would pass or fail a team, so she didn't know what he would do, though she'd somewhat guessed that it was teamwork, possibly. She'd known almost throughout Konoha's entire existence, they always valued teamwork above everything else. Teamwork was important, though at somewhat slightly one point it would be like the mission then teamwork. They'd work together, but if your teammates were under attack, and you could either complete the mission or save them and fail it. For Konoha at the time, it was more get the mission done. If they die, they die. Their fault for being weak almost. But with the death of Kakashi's father, and with somewhat the likes of obviously Minato hammering, teamwork is very much important, and you should always value your teamwork above anything else. That if you, and like if you abandoned the mission, you was you stupid. But if you abandoned your teammates, your friends, you're an arse. And yeah, and Kaguya should somewhat change that too. You know, if you abandon your friends, you're scamming. If you and if you abandoned your comrades, you're worse than scum. Similar thing to me. Well, it's pretty much the same thing. And yeah, gonna somewhat end it here, guys. So if you've enjoyed this, liked it, tell me in the comments down below. If you want to see part 5, tell me in the comments down below. Stay safe, and well, I don't know why I've got my intro now. Oh god. Anyway, yeah, see you guys in the next, obviously, what video, depending on what I do, and well, good. Bye!